Hey, sister girl.
I am so excited to be with y'all. It's live and living color. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Okay,
All
y'all
right, you
turn.
guys.
Y'all turn.
You know, sister girls, we all know that men can be stubborn about their health. They power through fatigue, ignore the belly weight, and keep on pushing, even when their bodies are waving the red flag. But here's the reality: metabolic syndrome is robbing our men of energy, strength, and longevity. So, tonight we're going to be bringing in the men themselves, real stories, real results, and real transformation. So, first up, G is going to break down what metabolic syndrome actually looks like in men, because for too many, they don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. Before I turn it over to G, send this video, share this video with the men in your life. You've got a husband, you've got a father, you've got a brother, an uncle, a son, somebody, a man in your life that needs this information. So tonight is a great night to share. Hey, sister girl, we're calling it Hey, brother man. Share the show with somebody that you know needs it. And I'm going to turn it over to G.
Okay, I'm trying
Welcome
to
back,
find. Look,
G.
yeah, I need y'all to see me sharing the show, honey. That is me because I know people have they need this. They need this, and I'm sending it. Bam. I just shared the show. But listen, guys, I'm so excited tonight. Let me just recap. I put up a post, and it was really to make you probably irritate you. It really was because when I looked, I said, wait a minute. All of these men look 9 months pregnant. And what if I walked up to them and say, when your baby do? When your baby do? And then they said, that's so mean. Mean is allowing these men to die in front of you. That's mean, and not say anything. I said the exact same thing. I said, people have written to me and stuff and said, okay, you didn't lost enough weight. I said, but where were you when my knees was hurting and I was too big? Why you didn't inbox me and say, sis, that's too much weight on you. Sis, I come on, you're not trying to live with diabetes. No one said anything. And so when Frederick and I started on this path of eating like this, that's when we said, oh, we got to tell people about this. So my topic tonight, my portion is just that. Talking about, hold on. I'm going right to it so I don't mess it up. It is man up or man down. The silent signs of metabolic syndrome. And so what does metabolic syndrome look like? Y'all know that dad bod because we joke about it. We joke, oh, he got the dad bod. Come on, dad. No, stop it. That's what we've said, but it's a sign of metabolic dysfunction. You're not supposed to have that gut like that. And then y'all know one of my favorite things, because I remember what it was like when I was pregnant, right? You look down, you see the belly. You don't see anything up to the top part of your thighs. So that means if I couldn't see mine, when you sit down, I know you don't see yours. So who want body parts that they can't even see and make sure that everything is okay? There's a link between high blood pressure, diabetes, and your belly fat. How inflammation is slowly breaking men down. Joint pain, stiffness, and just recovery issues altogether. So fellas, come on now. I know you're tired. I know you are, because you got to lay down. You got to take a nap sometimes in the middle of the day. Can't wait till you get home. You got to rely on caffeine. You got some of you rely on them blue pills. Come on now. All of these things going on. But I have someone to help me. You ready, baby? I'm popping you on. You ready?
Go ahead and pop me in, baby.
There you are. Everybody, this is my husband, but we're here for a purpose. All right? And we need to talk about our metabolic health. So with the dad bod, we've come up. I'm not going to take much time. My husband is going to share with you what you should be doing to check these things. Here's your first slide. Go ahead, baby.
All right, so let's talk about this. Most often, I've heard you guys talk about cholesterol in a lot of your shows, and Denitra, she really hones in on inflammation and what's that resistance, right? The
Insulin resistance.
insulin resistance. Yeah, she talks about that a lot. So one of the things I wanted to kind of discuss with you tonight is that for you to take an opportunity to do this test at home, do a metabolic test yourself at home. And there are two types. And the first one that I want to address deals with your cholesterol, right? Most times you go to the doctor,
That's this one.
they say you got high cholesterol, and that's not really what you should be concerned with. What you should be concerned with would be your triglycerides and your HDL ratios. That's what you need to be concerned with. Those are key indicators that, you know, there's something going on that you need to look into. And it's very simple. Once you get your lipid results back, you look for your triglyceride reading and your HDL reading. And basically, you just pull out your calculator and do a simple calculation. Now, you might say, oh, I don't have a calculator. Trust me, this day and time, everybody has a cell phone. And on your cell phone, you have a calculator, right? So all you need to do is just plug that number, your triglyceride number, into your calculator first, divided by your HDL number, and you will get a ratio. You'll get a number that shows up on your screen. Now, if that number is 1.5 or less, that means you are doing very well. You're at excellent metabolic health, right? If that number is between 1.6 and 2.9, then you know there's some room for improvement. You're at a moderate risk. And if it's 3.0 or higher, then you know here comes Denitra talking about insulin resistance. You have a high insulin resistance. You really need to have this. You really need to work on this. And then you might say, well, what can we do next? What can we do about it? Well, it's what the ladies talk about every week, right? Cutting sugar. It's time to cut sugar. It's time to eliminate seed oils and eat more animal-based foods. Now, more foods like eggs, meat, butter, and those kinds of things, any animal product. But let me just readdress the sugar part, because it's more than just sugar. Oftentimes when we say that, people tend to think you're talking about refined sugar. Yeah, that is one. But what you may not understand is that everything you eat outside of meat metabolizes or converts into sugar, right? So I'm talking your rice, your pasta, all those foods. When they metabolize in your body treats it as sugar. It breaks down into glucose, and that's sugar in your body. So that's why it's important that you eliminate those things from your diet. And when you're able to do that, then that in itself will tend to move those triglycerides and HDL numbers into the right configuration. All right.
Okay, really
Now,
quick, baby. Listen. What if I don't have my blood work and I still want to kind of sort of know? Is there something else that I can do just with a tape measure?
Yeah, that was the second part of this. There's two parts to this. The second part would be to use a tape measure and do what's called a waist to height ratio measurement, right? So if you use the metric system, centimeters, just stay consistent and use centimeters for your height as well. If you use inches, then use inches. And basically, you want to measure your waist circumference, right? Now, let's don't cheat. What we want to do is measure about 1 inch or less, slightly above the navel, right? You want to get your
We ain't going trying to Dunlap under that belly.
Yeah, Dunlap under the belly. You don't want to do that. So you want to measure about 1 inch above your navel, and take that measurement. And then measure your height. Again, once you get these two numbers, same thing. You put your waist into the calculator, is measurement, divided by your height into the calculator, and you'll get a ratio as well. Now, if that waist to height ratio is 0.5 or less, then again, you're doing great. You're healthy. If that number is 0.51 to 0.59, then you at a slightly increased risk of a metabolic dysfunction developing, right? You might want to start considering doing something about that. If that number is 0.6 or higher, then yeah, you're at high risk of for diabetes, heart disease, insulin resistance. Those are good indicators for you to decide, maybe I need to do something about this. Well, then you say, well, why does it matter? Or what can I do? Well, what it really does is it has a that it it measures your visceral fat. I'm sorry, it measures there's a measure of visceral fat, right? Around that's fat around the organs, right? And it's increasing if that number is larger. So those are the drivers for metabolic syndrome. So when this occurs, then you want to make sure that you eat more protein, you eat less sugar, you eat less refined carbs, processed foods. Those are the kinds of things that you have to eliminate from your diet. So basically the takeaway for you is that if your waist to height ratio is 0.5 and your triglyceride to HDL ratio is high, then your metabolic health needs attention right now. So you need to take charge.
There you go. That's it. I wanted you guys to hear from a male's perspective. I thank you, baby. Don't go nowhere. I'll be back for you. I really did. I wanted you guys to hear that from a man. I've been blessed to where he and I have been doing this together. And I thank you, Denitra, for thinking of the men in this March Madness and wanting to bring it to the brothers. It's like, I don't want to turn on social media and prayer because, your significant, whether it's your uncle, cousin, daddy, brother, husband, boyfriend, it doesn't matter that, he's in the hospital, because y'all first know the men don't like telling you anyway. That's number one. And then this is so easy to do. So if you don't like going to the doctor, then that's what you need to do, because you keep the doctor out your house, out your pockets. All right. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Denitra, and she's going to break some other things down for us. Have at it, my lady.
Absolutely. So, good evening, everyone. I enjoyed Frederick. Thank you for bringing him on tonight, G. And my role tonight, again, it is, hey, brother man, if you haven't already invited your man, your brother, your cousin, a man that you love and care about, that sometimes is a bit hard-headed, they don't have to hear it from us tonight. They get to hear it from other men tonight. And so my goal tonight is to share with you the metabolic mayhem. And I do have a presentation that I'm going to share. So I'm going to share my screen and walk through this. And then I have a visitor tonight too. We did say it was Man Crush Monday. Here we go.
You got to hit there you go.
All right. So what we know is that just like us as women, men are facing a health crisis as well. The metabolic dysfunction is driving down testosterone levels, and it's increasing their insulin resistance. This is a silent epidemic. Now, we continue to call this silent, but visually we can see that something is happening with our men, and it's not good. And that's why we're here tonight, is to share this. We've been taking care of the women, talking about the women, and we want to get better together. And so essentially this epidemic is having men to die earlier. So most of our men are dying at least 5 years earlier than women on average. So you hear most times that women are widows, right? It's rare that we hear of a widower. It's often that the woman has buried her husband. And that's because of this widening gap in the metabolic health. Men don't want to go to the doctor. They don't want to be seen by the doctor. And so tonight, even as Frederick said, there are some things that you can do at home. You can tune into this show. You can listen to it in your car. But also, I often say, at least get their labs. Okay. So we're getting sicker, and these things are preventable. They're the choices that we're making that are causing these episodes for us. And the root cause is metabolic disease. Our metabolism is broken, and it's broken from what we are eating. And so that's what we're endeavoring to touch on tonight. And so here's a little data for you. I've already said that men are living 5 years less than women, right? So I have so many women friends that are widowers, and their husbands have passed on, and they are reinventing their lives. 73% overweight and obese. 40% of men have low testosterone. That is men over 45. There's also some data that talks about men who are under 45 that are suffering with the same thing. So we're seeing younger men have the same thing as older men. And let me tell you, neither one of them are related to aging. It is about what you're putting in your body. In insulin resistance, 1/3 of men show clinical signs of insulin resistance. It is the precursor to diabetes. We often get a diagnosis of pre-diabetes, and you're going to hear me say it over and over again. Don't let the pre fool you, because when you get that diagnosis, that means that there's already been 10 years of damage that got you that winning diagnosis of prediabetes. So it's not something to take lightly. And more than 1/4 of men meet the clinical criteria to be metabolic syndrome, which is putting you at a higher risk of heart disease. So let's talk about this testosterone decline. The studies show that men that have dropped about 1% annually since the 80s, right? And again, this has nothing to do with aging. So as G said earlier, we're grabbing hold to blue pills to try to fix this, when you can grab hold to what you're eating and how you move to fix this. And so today's 30-year-old man has a 17% less testosterone than the counterpart in 1999. And it's multiple causes. It's obesity, it's a sedentary lifestyle, it's environmental toxins, it's poor diet. All of these contribute to the decline. So what is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance, again, is showing us that our metabolic issues are rising up. So you may have prediabetes, you may have some signs of cancer. All of these things are contributing to it. And so you see right here where it talks about type 3 diabetes. This is Alzheimer's, right? We don't hear this often a lot now, but it is starting to emerge that type 3 diabetes is sugar of the brain. So we're having people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and we're thinking that it has a lot to do with aging. It is still related to that we have been consuming so many carbohydrates and so much sugar. And for 10 to 15 years, it takes about that long for you to even learn that you have it. And so this is why we recommend some different type of tests so that you can get this information sooner and start to do something about it. Thus why we're having men on the show tonight. So we do not overlook that. 88 million of adults have prediabetes. The issue is most of them don't even know it. We don't even know that we have it because we're not getting the proper test, or we're just overlooking it. And so you say, how is it destroying your health? You have this chronic fatigue, you have muscle loss, weight gain, inflammation, pain, heart disease, brain fog, and you just keep pushing through. You keep pushing through. Again, the things that we talk about on this show, the visuals that we show are not about body shaming. It's about body awareness. And so we see a gentleman that looked like this, and we loving on him. He the best dad, the best father, the best uncle, the best cousin. This is a sign of sickness. When we say that 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy, we have to own that and ask ourselves, am I in the 93% or am I in the 7%? If you have signs of insulin resistance, you're in the 93%. So what do we need to do? Step 1, I need you to go to your doctor. Go to the doctor. Let's get some labs. There's nothing wrong with you finding out what's going. What labs do you need? You need a fasting insulin, not a fasting glucose. That's okay if you get it, but don't let them talk you out of your fasting insulin. You need to know your blood sugar levels. You need an A1C. You should know your A1C like you know your phone number. What are your levels of testosterone? What does your lipid panel say? What's going on with your liver? All right. And we want to track progress. Start monitoring what's happening to you. How often am I getting tired? How often am I sluggish? And the key, and Frederick alluded to this, is we want to eat like a man. Let's eat like a man. What does that mean? Cutting out everything that causes insulin resistance. Sugar, processed carbs, seed oils, alcohol. Yes, I said it, alcohol. Ultra processed foods and starchy foods. You want to turn your diet into something that is consuming more protein, more animal-based proteins, healthy natural fats, nutrient-dense food. What we mean by that is you can get the nutrients. They are bioavailable to you. You want to avoid most vegetables. So I know a lot of times I hear men say they're meat and potato man. I'm a meat and potato man. Well, meat and potatoes are one of those starchy things that's leading to the insulin resistance. All right. And so then you also want to consider doing some carb timing of when you're having your carbs. And then step 3 is move like a man. Do strength training. Go walking. Do some cardio. Do you need to be in the gym killing yourself? No, not at all. But should you be getting steps and telling your body that it's a mover? Absolutely. And what are the metabolic killers? You got smoking, alcohol, ultra processed food, and poor sleep. Men, you got to rest. You got to close your eyes and you got to get your rest. So if you want to fuel for longevity and vitality, we recommend, not necessarily recommend, what we do here is we all are carnivores. We eat primarily animal-based. So what am I saying tonight? Ladies, stop making your man eat that salad. Stop making him eat those vegetables. I'm just suggesting that to you. But truthfully, if you want your testosterone to go up and your performance to improve, then you want to be eating nutrients that are bioavailable to you. You could also try the ketogenic approach. And what does that mean? That's low carb, high fat. You have some vegetables in that. And let's consider intermittent fasting as well. And so what I'm going to do is turn this over to, I'm going to stop sharing. What I want to say to you guys is that this is your chance and your opportunity to make a change, and you can make the change together. So I'm going to flip it over to Robin.
All right, you guys, I have a slideshow tonight too. I'm going to make it really quickly because I want to get our guest on and make sure that he has a good opportunity to talk to you guys tonight. But there's a few things that these ladies have not touched on, and we really need to talk about them because sometimes it's not all about the weight or looking good in the mirror, but that metabolic syndrome that we've been talking about has life-altering consequences. So ignoring that can be a huge, huge problem. So, I mean, in truth, and you guys think about this, you guys in the chat, you guys that are out there can tell me if this is true. Most men don't think about their health until something goes wrong. So, you know, you might have high blood pressure, you might be having a little trouble in the bedroom, you maybe just feel a little weaker or more tired than you used to. And, you know, this is all like symptoms of metabolic syndrome. These are indicators. These are the red flags that I talked about at the beginning. Your body is waving red flags and saying, hey, I've got a problem over here. So, metabolic dysfunction is a silent killer. I mean, you know, things like waist circumference that we talked about, things about those HDL to triglycerides ratio, those things are things that they don't talk very much about it. They'll say you have heart disease or you have diabetes, you're pre-diabetic. But as Denitra was saying, 10 years before you're diagnosed with pre-diabetes, you are actually having metabolic syndrome, okay? So here's what's at stake. So a higher risk of stroke and heart disease. If you have metabolic syndrome, the heart disease you're at a higher risk for heart disease. We know that heart disease is a #1 killer of men worldwide. And I had a conversation with Dr. Ovadia, who is a renowned heart surgeon. And he said to me that every single person that is on his operating table has metabolic syndrome. So basically, that's the #1 indicator. So if you have high blood pressure and insulin resistance, your body is fighting against you. So, many people don't even realize they have heart disease until they have a heart attack. And of course, we know that for some, that's going to be too late. Another big problem is ED. Yes, we're going to talk about ED tonight because we're talking with the guys. So erectile dysfunction and poor blood flow. So erectile dysfunction isn't just frustrating, it's a major warning sign of metabolic dysfunction. So your blood vessels, they don't work well down there. If they don't work well down there, they're not working well anywhere in your body, including your heart and your brain. So ED is often one of the first signs of cardiovascular disease and insulin resistance. Another one is loss of muscle mass and frailty. So, men, you might think that it's just, let me go my slides. Sorry, I'm just skipping over the slides. Here we go. So, you might think that losing strength is just part of getting older. It is not. If you're losing muscle, you're struggling to recover from your workouts, or you're feeling weaker overall, you can't even get up off the couch and go work out, your metabolism is in trouble. So, and frailty later in life leads to loss of independence, falls, and even an earlier death. So we know that this is not about vanity, right? It's not just about how are you looking in the mirror. It's about everything that's going on within your body. It's about continuing to be strong, capable, and independent as long as possible. So again, ED and heart disease, slower recovery. And then Denitra already talked about cognitive decline and Alzheimer's, and that these, the cognitive decline and Alzheimer's, dementia, those are all sugar-related problems, right? They're called type 3 diabetes because they're related to too much sugar in your system. So, our quality of life is at stake. If you're having constant fatigue, you're waking up tired, you're sluggish every day, it's not normal. These are red flags that your body is sending you. If your strength is declining, you used to be the one who could leap over a wall and hurdle over a fence and, knock down a tree and all that stuff. And now you're just too weak to do it. It's not normal. Right? It's not inevitable aging. And I think about, people who eat carnivore way of eating and how strong they are, how robust they are. This is a warning sign if you're having declining strength. Brain fog, mental fog, joint pain, trouble concentrating, mood swings. Are you guys that old lady on the football field that's just grouchy and crabby and hangry? And as soon as you get your Snickers bar, you turn it back into a strapping young man. This is a problem. So, those mood swings are signs of a metabolic syndrome. So your body's talking. And the question is, are you listening? All right. So I'm going to turn this over to the guys. Let's pop them in. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you so much for listening to my portion. And we are going to bring these guys in, and we appreciate them so much for being here tonight. Where is he? There we go. Oh. All right, Denitra, do you want to introduce the husband?
Absolutely. So, you had the pleasure of bringing on Frederick, and I want to introduce Mr. Sam Davis on tonight. He's here, has been on this journey with me, started this journey as a support to me. I was having my own struggle and needed support along the way. And so I'm going to let Sam talk a little bit about his journey. We have some before and afters, and he's going to share what's been happening with him. We started this journey in 2020, and here we are now. It's been a nice learning. Been some ups and downs, some roller coasters, some drop backs, some start overs, and some resets. So, Mr. Davis, will you take it away?
Yes, ma'am. It appears that my screen is freezing up a little bit. We might have some technical issues, but just bear with me. All right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, my screen is freezing. It's not.
We can still see you, brother.
You good?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we're putting up your pictures.
So this picture that's up, I want the guys in particular to take note of the physical composition. If you look, you see what is referred to as man boobs and all the excess weight that is across my chest, my arms, and you can easily see it around my gut area. I want to address the man boobs thing because one of the things I learned was that all these vegetable oils that I was eating, all of this highly refined processed foods was really robbing me of my testosterone and increasing the levels of estrogen I had in my body, thus the male boobs. So I wanted the guys, I want you guys to be cognizant of the signs and the symptoms of how do you identify that things are going on with you. You guys have done a phenomenal job outlining some of the ailments and some of the issues and what often leads to these chronic conditions. But I want to get a little bit beneath with some of the brothers though. So if you're having issues with your vision, all of a sudden, guys, you're noticing your vision is getting blurry. Maybe you need to change your glasses. You think that is only a manifestation of getting older. It is not. You need to get your blood checked. Those who may be getting thirsty throughout the day for extended periods of time and running back and forth to the bathroom, urinating excessively, that is a serious indication that your blood glucose level is all out of whack. Those of us who have balance issues, you don't feel like you're as strong as you used to. You feel like you can be easily pushed over or something. There are some issues that need to be addressed. Of course, ED, I think for most of us guys, it's probably one of the most frightening conditions that we can have. And one of the good things about it is that once you start to eliminate those seed oils, I mean, they ravish in your body. Once you start to eliminate these granulated sugars out of your diet and you start to focus on the fats and the good proteins, your body starts to heal itself. And so I remember having conversations with a lot of the brothers that be like, we have this warrior mentality anyway. And like someone said earlier, we don't really go to the doctor unless and until it's absolutely necessary. Well, first of all, a lot of us don't trust the physicians. We don't trust that they're providing us with any meaningful advice we could use anyway. And so we go when things cumulatively have reached a point where we're going to have an emergency intervention. And that's why this show is important. Like, ladies, I appreciate you. Hey, sister girls, for inviting the guys and including us in this discussion. You guys are the nutrition managers in your house, in your relationships. And so we rely on you guys to feed us and nurture our bodies the way that we should. But gentlemen, if you're experiencing any of those ailments I previously indicated, you need to go to the doctor. Everyone is different. No one can tell you what your ailments indicate, what's wrong with you. Your blood will do that. And your blood is going to dictate what approach you take for your individual health. It's going to identify what specific system in you is affected and how you go about restoring that system. Nitra, you can put some other pictures back up. I just may have got off course a little bit, but I'm
no. You're on point, honey. That's all good. There's another picture for you.
Again, another situation where I thought I had it going on, thought I looked good, but underneath I was sick. I was always 30 to 40 pounds overweight, obese, as they like to refer to it, always sluggish, always sleeping. And sleeping is another one, guys. If you find yourself always tired and always sleeping, not only throughout the day, but at night you go to sleep really early and get up really late and you're still tired, that is an indication that something is off in your body. All right. So, of course, my journey is unique in that, and I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge my wife, the ace, the pioneer, she's at the forefront of this entire movement as an advocate and a coach and an educator. Just some of the information that she shared with me initially is what really led to my epiphany and this journey to take control of my health. Just some little basic information. I started to get away from focusing on, guys, I want y'all to get away from counting calories. That is totally ineffective. We need to focus on nutrients and eliminating the amount of carbs we consume. Like the other guests have already said, focus on consuming proteins and fats and your electrolytes. If you do that, if you eliminate those oils, those seed oils, all the refined sugars, and minimize your carbs, I guarantee you your body will begin to restore itself.
Go ahead, Sam. Who them fine folks right there?
Well, you can see it's a process. Of course, you can see on the left, it is a gradual process. Still some indication and some evidence of the inflammation on the left, although I think we had already been engaged for several months trying to change some things up and really experiment on a lot of things. The picture on the right is a more refined picture in where we're starting to get resolute about the lifestyle that we're going to live, not being tempted or craving, or I won't say we don't crave, because I still crave some of the things that I used to eat, but just a more refined, disciplined approach on the right side. You can see where we started to really take control, take ownership of our own health.
Well, there we go. Hold on. Let me pull us all around. That ain't it either. There we go. There we go. Go ahead, Denitra. How we
Yeah, so I just want to say, watching
Denitra,
Sure.
wait a minute, real quick, because I want people to see that was
yes. Yes.
Y'all wait till we go back to his face, but this was us. And so yeah, we weren't doing too well. What you want to say about these, baby?
Not much I can say. The proof is in the picture. So
literally the pudding.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I think, let me just say, I did that for everybody to know that we're coming from, we have not all arrived. We understand. Sam said, I still crave, certain things. We're human, and we've eaten that for so long, but how much do you love you? How much do you want to nurture yourself for your partner? I think it is extremely selfish, and this me, ain't nobody else on the panel. This would only be me saying this. I think it's extremely that you want to eat everything and then later want somebody to take care of you, when we're on here telling you that you can extend and live a beautiful life, that you can start doing things that you had not done before, that your body was not, you weren't even able to do it. Matter of fact, your feet start hurting thinking about that long walk. But we're letting you know that you do have a different choice, and we've all come from that stance. That's the thing. We've come from that stance. How much do you love you? That's right. How much do you love you? That is like that's it. Where's the love? But what about the people that you want to take care of you? That's unfair. When you could turn around and do something different with your life now, where you don't need that, at least not right now. I'm just not trying to race to a king. I just don't want that.
Well, I do want to say this, that, and so many of us have been taught this and have thought this, that these diseases are irreversible, right? Things like heart disease, diabetes, even like bad eyes. you know, Edie, like, are you going to always need to take a blue pill in order to be able to, make things work? So, and the fact of the matter is that we're finding out that these things are reversible, and so many more issues are reversible. And and yeah, how much do you love you? DeMarcus said it, that it is about a self-love thing. Do you care enough about yourself to make these dietary changes in order to reverse? I wanted to put this message up because this is super important, I feel, from the carnivore teacher. And he's saying, when I stopped carbs, sugar, seed oils, and started eating carnivore, my blood labs showed higher testosterone! Exclamation point. I'm on year 6 of eating properly, and my testosterone is now high normal. It was low 6 years ago.
But wait a minute, he added this.
Oh, and I'm
And
currently 59 years old.
Y'all, but I'm telling you, it's life after these moments that y'all are having. Your new, we talk about the outside of us, that what 40 is the new 30 and 60 is the new 40. Okay, I really do feel 30 something on the inside of me. I used to say 33, but I had a birthday, so maybe 34 now. I really do feel like that on the inside. So when you look, it's like, oh, you 60, you shouldn't act like that. Baby, I'm 40, 33. I mean, just turned 34. That's how I'm supposed to act. Huh? Yes.
I do want to ask the gentleman if they would just share a little bit about some of the issues that they may have been having prior to beginning a carnivore way of eating, and what kind of changes have you seen related to your health and wellness by changing your diet?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, one of the main reasons, or the main reason I started the carnivore diet, had to do with a series of bouts with gout, and I was having severe inflammation in my ankles and my knees. Had a difficult time walking. Um, Even got to the point where I was using my mother-in-law's walker at one point. And when my wife tells the story, she likes to say that she was beginning to shop for electric wheelchair. So that was my motivation. Now I have to admit, now it's been a struggle. Like Sam said, there's always that desire to go back and do some things. And I have to say that in my walk in these 2 years, the last 2 years, I've done, I think, a very good job with the eating. And my biggest Achilles heel has been alcohol. I don't drink a lot, but the things that I would drink would be more of a sweet kind of drink
A
that
fruity
would,
drink.
a fruity drink that would, you know, kind of set me back. And it's something I've been dealing with. I mean, so we know when we're talking to you guys that it's not easy, and we're not here trying to proclaim that, you can do this, we'll beat you over the head and that kind of deal. It's a struggle. I mean, like my wife said, we've been doing this all our lives, and now over the last couple of years or so, we're trying to change this. So it doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, it's real. The struggle is real, but I do know that when I do exercise, when I do eat right, I feel so much better. Everything is so much better, and
It
you
really
just have
is.
to make up in your mind
Everything.
that that this is this is what you
You hear
want to
your
do.
fast wife, Frederick.
I know. Just have yeah, you just have to make up in your mind that this is what you want to do. This is the life you want to live for the remaining years. My wife says that we have more time behind us than we have in front of us, and that's so true. I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm 61. I don't want to live another 61 years. I don't want to be 122. Tell the truth about it, I don't. So I know I got less time ahead of me. So it's just a matter of just making your mind up and taking baby steps towards doing what we know is the right thing to do, the best thing to do for our bodies and our lives.
Dear God, he said that, not me. I think I can still shake a tail feather. 121.
Yeah.
I'm joining you. You better come on do this with me. What you talking about? Stop that
Yeah.
foolishness.
I'm dropping out at 100.
Oh no. I was just about to say that,
Y'all,
Frederick.
I'm keeping them. Don't worry. I ain't doing this marriage thing again. That joke, when they say ball and chain, I'm tucking them to me, right? That's gonna be the ball and chain for sure.
That's what's up. And I often say, Frederick, just a little piggyback on what you were saying. I often ask the women, like, whatever your age is now, let's just say you got 30 more, you got 40 more, you got 50 more. How do you want to live them? Right? What are you going to do the next 30 years? What are you going to do these next 30 years? All right, honey, what you got for us about your journey? Those things that have been, I'll let you tell, because I'll start talking about some some things that you might not, come on, honey, tell them what you,
Right. We don't want to go too far beneath the surface, but I will share. I will share some things. For me, my ailments included my eyes. My eyes were really getting bad, and that really scared me. I thought I was going to go blind for a moment there. And there was also my joints, my hip. The inflammation had accumulated in my right hip, which was severely limiting my mobility. I felt like an old man. I couldn't keep my balance. It was easy for me to fall over. I literally felt like one of my older folks, and I was taking care, intending to older individuals. And so I kind of, that was an epiphany. But I think most importantly for me was the struggle with my weight. I had an ideal vision of how I wanted to look, and I had been defeated for the majority of my life, and I just reconciled that would no longer be the case. When you get up, I don't know, either in the morning or whenever you walk past that mirror, y'all, when everybody walk past that mirror, some of us, either we look away or we look in the mirror and pull up what we would like to see. So it was those kind of situations that really motivated me. I wanted to get where I knew I could be. I wanted to get where I knew I could be. And so that was my main motivation. I just the pain going away was just like a bonus. That was like a cherry on top. But my initial goal was to lose weight. I wanted to be in shape. But it took a while. It took understanding that even though I was trying to eat vegetables and eat salads, that was still sugar. And I think that was the part that was so difficult for me to understand. And a lot of people just to acknowledge that we've been duped, that cholesterol is not really an issue. But what do you do if your doctor is telling you, yeah, your cholesterol is high? But in reality, it's the sugar that you're eating. And so how do you reconcile though? It's just so much information. People are inundated with information. So I think that part, learning that, fats have been demonized. Fats are absolutely essential nutrients that your body needs. How do we get people to distinguish between fat being on them and they look fat and eating fat for nutrients? We have a lot of work to do, but I think once I started to, become okay, I have been tricked. I have been relying on information that's been less than accurate. Let me rearrange some things and just adjust some things and then do what fits me. Not this one size fits all thing, just kind of find my circadian rhythm, what works for me, what makes me feel better, what gives me the energy. And so I started to experiment with that. So like every meal I would eat, I would check my blood sugar. I would wait about 45 minutes, check my blood sugar and see what did it do? Did it spike me? And then if it did, I'm going to eliminate the things on there. I'm going to identify what on that plate spike my blood sugar, and I'm going to systematically eliminate that. So it's a methodical kind of process, and it is. It's not easy. I know we get used to our routine. We out in the world, we get inundated out in the world. When we get come home, we want our routine. We want what's comfortable for us, what we're used to. But I will say this, gentlemen, that this will require some change.
And it's worth it.
It is indeed.
This is, Sam, I often say that I feel like I went up to the mountaintop and got this new body. I was just telling Frederick this before we even came live. I'm so Frederick and I have been married for 20 years. Baby, these next 20 gonna put them last 20 to shame.
All right.
Because I've never been this size in our relationship. So there's just a whole new newness. This like being married all over again. But he broke in real well. And it's like we doing, and I'm loving it. And it's like I don't want this with anybody but him. And so if I feel that way towards my husband, ladies, later on in life, you trying to do that dating thing again? Are you trying to like really see who God has for you and what you got to pick through the weeds and all? No, you want who you are with, and you're not trying to be his nurse, and you're not trying to be those different things. It's good that you're there, but I promise you would love to go for a walk. But you guys need to do this together. And sometimes one is and one isn't, but I'm saying together, you all can do some remarkable things. Together you can. But if not, go right ahead. You do what you need to do. Go ahead, Robin.
I'm going to just pop this question up because I do want to talk about Pastor Jamar. He's not here with us tonight. So this message is between Simpson and Tara, and they're talking about her husband. She's asking, is your husband eating carnivore now? I've been carnivore for 2 years now, and he's still stubbornly turning his nose up at eating this way. Stubborn man. So I have been carnivore for 2 years, and my husband just started carnivore last week. So he just started carnivore last week. And I think I just kept on like feeding him meat every day and cooking less and less vegetables, and to the point where he would just gave up.
Well, we
You
all
didn't
do.
trick him, did you, Robin? You didn't trick him, did you?
I may have, but I told him, like, he's talking about some of the things that we've been talking about, like, you know, these issues that we're talking about. And I'm saying you need to try carnivore for at least 30 days. Like, you got to try it and see if some of the issues that you're having are starting to be addressed. And so I mean, I guess I may have tricked him, or I finally convinced him. He knows that this is the right way to eat because he's been watching me do it for 2 years. And so it was just a matter of getting in the headspace, right? It takes something to get in the headspace to make that dietary change. And we're all, if you think about it, we're all addicted to sugar from birth. You know, the baby formula is made of corn syrup. So from the very, very beginning, we're already addicted to sugar. What do we do when the baby turns one? We give them a cake, a whole cake for the baby to smash into, right? So, you know, so we're highly addicted to sugar, and it's very difficult. I think I heard Denitra on the radio show today talking about that bliss point, how the food is designed to be highly addictive. And so to get into the headspace of giving that up is very challenging, but he finally did it. And so he's been carnivore for like a week now. So yay.
Yes,
Great.
yes, yay. I can't
Awesome.
wait to see
Awesome.
him.
And you know, Frederick, I appreciate you talking about your gout flares. I too suffer with gout as a result. And so I just kind of want to reinforce what you are saying about that, because most people continue to think that gout is a red meat, a seafood issue. I remember my dad and we would go to do all you could eat crab legs. And I stopped eating crab legs. I stopped eating shrimp. I stopped eating red meat because I thought that was going to help with my gout, only to continue to have gout flares. It wasn't until I started being in this space that I understood that it was sugar that was causing my gout flare ups. I mean, I was on the allopurinol, you know, cranberry juice, you know, all the things that people told you. And it wasn't until I started removing the sugar and the processed foods. And so I really want to, because sometimes the word carnivore just blows people's minds. And we're all here talking about how to help with our mindset. What I want us to understand is that we've labeled it carnivore, but essentially what we're saying, is to take out these ultra processed foods. You know, cut back on the plants. Don't give plants this whole pass of, you know, eat all you can all you eat, right? So once you start to remove those things, which we refer to as carbohydrates, whether they are simple carbs or complex carbs, they are sugar. And so you have a whole diet of sugar happening in your body. And so when you're eating like that, people say things like everything has sugar in it. No, meat doesn't. Meat doesn't have sugar in it. It's not going to metabolize in your body. What it will do is metabolize in your body to nurture, right? To give you the nutrients that your body needs. I hear Sam talk about that often around, like, this whole conversation is about giving the body nutrients, the protein and the fat. And yes, they've been demonized and we've stop consuming them. And what I say is, how is that working for us? We've been doing this low fat diet, don't eat red meat, and we've gotten bigger and we've gotten sicker over the years. And so was that the problem, becomes the question. And we would venture to say no, because we're returning to that ancestral way to eat and we're seeing the results. But I want to ask the men to talk a little bit about their levels of movement, because the other thing that happens is men, I always start to hear men when they think get healthy, or I'm gonna get back in the gym. I got my membership set up and I'm going back in the gym. So I want the guys, Frederick and Sam, to just touch on, just a couple of minutes about what your routine for movement, and I'm intentionally not using the word exercise, but what your routine for movement has been on this journey. We've seen pictures of both of you. You are both very slimmer. So talk to us a little bit about your exercise routine or your movement. Take exercise out.
You want to go
Well,
first, Sam?
I will, because I'm brief. I don't really have a regimen or a routine or anything. What I do try to do is I try to get at least maybe 7. Well, I set it at 10,000 steps every day, but I rarely do I reach that. But I do try to get between 7 and 10. And for me, that appears to be the range that keeps me at a stable level. I have a good range in terms of weight and numbers that I like to stay at. And I found that I have to move around for a certain period of time to maintain that. Now, resistance is always best for muscle buildup. And so that's always best. I don't really do a lot of exercising and stuff. I just walk and eat right. And I feel better than I ever have. So you don't have to work out 2-3 hours a day. In fact, that's going to be detrimental in some regards anyway. So
That's right.
it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Frederick.
I too don't really have a regimen for working out. There was a period of time where I was diligent about it and probably walking more than my wife is doing now. I know you guys have that challenge, and she does a lot. And I was doing that at one point, but I never could maintain it because of the way I thought about working out growing up. And I played hard. I was very athletic, and now I don't feel like doing those things anymore. But one of the things that I do try to do is what I call an unintentional workout, maybe, if that would be the right way to say it. So if I go to the store, maybe don't park as close to the door, park at the end of the parking lot. So that I got to actually take some steps, or, I don't mind going back and forth down the aisles when I'm shopping. Those things are kind of intentional and not at the same time. But I try to do those things that, maybe other people might not want to do, or try to find shortcuts in doing. So I don't always try to find a shortcut. I don't mind taking the steps instead of the elevator. I know we were just on the ship a couple of times. My wife said, "Ooh, you gonna take the steps?" I said, "Yeah, come on." She want to take them going down. Like, no, let's take them going up. Let's really work those leg muscles.
Okay, well, that's
So-
what you wanted to say about me, but what I wanted to say about you is when I am upstairs walking and you come up and you start doing like them push-ups, and then when you start planking, that visual that I get, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, yeah. I do some of that sometimes. I think yeah, I think I would start doing a little bit more. You know, I kind of work out in spurts, and it's a mental thing. It's a mental block. But you know, my wife and I have had some conversations, and you know, you guys have motivated me. Seeing Sam here tonight, and I've got motivated to because you're a lot smaller than I am. Yeah. So you look good, and I want to get back that way as well. But I wanted to say one more thing, Denitra. You were talking about something you guys talk about often, and I want people to understand that what we're doing is right because your body is wonderfully made. God gave you an organ to help you with processing fat, and that's a gallbladder. And he didn't give you an organ to process vegetables. I mean, that's why you can see it unprocessed in your stool. But your gallbladder, its main purpose is to secrete that bile and digest that fat. And when you don't use it, you lose it. I lost mine. So many years of eating salads and not eating the thing I should have eaten, and it went to waste, and they had to remove it. So know that if you have your gallbladder, you're still blessed, and eat that fat. It'll take care of it.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I love that you mentioned that because that is something that we do talk about. God gave you a whole organ, so all of those things that they tell us about cholesterol, all of that is attached to money to put you on the statin. Outside of that, God gave you an organ. And what he didn't say is I was vegan for 4.5 years before doing carnivore, right? And I'll show y'all what I look like as a vegan. But in that, I was forcing him to eat vegetables. And so guess what happened? The gallbladder sat with the bile and it turned into sludge. And they had to do that surgery for him. This is me. Well, that's me big on the end, but all these in the center, those are my vegan years. See, 4.5 years vegan. I jumped to carnivore and I've held this weight down. Don't even think about it. Y'all, I went on the ship and I didn't announce this, but I'm gonna go ahead and announce it to everybody. I left home 142 pounds. And I just got back Saturday. I was 139. Who goes on a cruise? But wait a minute. I went on 2 cruises. They were back to back, a 7-nighter and a 6-nighter, and I ate 3 times a day. And I came home smaller. You go do the math.
Yeah, you did it.
Right?
She did it, y'all. She did it. She was up every morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, walking for 2 hours.
You know what?
We know.
I know. And listen, that time, wait a minute. I'm up there and I was sharing with Denitra and the ladies. I was like, listen, I'm watching the sun rise every morning. Y'all, I saw the blood moon or whatever. I saw all of that. The air is fresh. And he's like, you getting up, baby? I don't call it going to exercise. You know what I tell him? I'm finna go love on me. Because that's what I'm doing. I am really, I have a good husband. I am trying to get myself as fine as I can be to make him keep chasing me. Shoot, come on now. Okay, calm down, G. Calm down. Drink some water. Okay. I'm back.
I'm a caveman, so I'm gonna have that club when I chase you.
Oh,
that's how I get my steps in. Y'all run around the house. Y'all better stop it. Y'all think I'll be out there walking. I'm running around the house. Okay, y'all better act right.
Yeah, this has been an amazing show. Frederick, thank you for being open to join. I appreciate Sam being able to join as well. And Robin, thank you for sharing. And so the goal tonight was for us to crush on our man. It's Man Crush Monday. Hey, brother, man, the thing that we want you guys to understand is that the link that you get to this show will take you back to the replay. So just keep watching it, keep sharing. I see some people in the comments saying they wish somebody was here. Hey, this a date night. Pop the show in. Let's watch it. Cook a carnivore meal. The only difference between a carnivore meal is just leave off the vegetables. That's it. Teach him.
I got some more for you. Go on, talk about it. Come on, hey, sister girl.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I need y'all to see Denitra, Sam, me. Frederick gonna be there too. Robin. We have 2 doctors. Baby, we're gonna be in Memphis this weekend. What? We will be in Memphis this weekend, March 22nd. Go ahead. You can pause the camera. You do whatever you need to do and scan that code, secure your spot. Come on, get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. Hold on, I'm trying to put them back. There we go. And I wanted to get that information out because all of the sister girls will be there. You will, if you need information from a doctor, you need that MD. Well, baby, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there. And guess what? You get to ask them questions. So write your stuff down. Come on in and hang with us this weekend because we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna show you how you can go out and have a good time as a carnivore.
We're gonna eat good, y'all. It's gonna be we believe in no deprivation. This is not a diet, this is a way of eating, and we eat good. Treat your man to a steak. Leave off the potato and watch what the night looks like when you feed him a steak.
You be the dessert. Come on now.
Go on, G.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all brought him on here with me. Stop it. I don't know how to act. You can't take me outside. You can't.
All right, y'all. Let me just say thank you so much, gentlemen. We appreciate these ladies love their husbands.
Yeah, look,
we appreciate you so much. I mean, we
love y'all guys. Come on,
I
gotta get back to normal. Come on now.
Being part of the show with us tonight. It was just fantastic. So you guys share this video because there's a guy that you know that needs to know this information. So please share this information, share this video. It'll be out here for your listening and viewing pleasure. All right, you guys, all minds clear? All right.
Minds are clear.
See y'all next time.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.